At 1 forward, number 33, in his 4th year from Central Arkansas, Scottie Pippen. The other forward is number 54 in his 4th season from Clemson, Horace Grant. Starting at center, number 24 in his 11th campaign from San Francisco, Bill Cartwright. At 1 guard, number 5 in his 8th season from Notre Dame, John Paxson. And the other guard is number 23 in his 7th year from North Carolina, Michael Jordan. Head coach of the Bulls, Phil Jackson. And now, the Western Conference champions, your Los Angeles Lakers. At 1 forward, number 14 in the 7th campaign from North Carolina, Sam Perkins. The other forward is number 42 in his 9th season from North Carolina, James Worthy. At center, number 12 in his 2nd campaign from Yugoslavia, Vlade Divac. At 1 guard, number 4 in his 8th year from Arizona State, Byron Scott. And the other guard is number 32 in his 12th year from Michigan State, Irvin Magic Johnson. Head coach of the Lakers, Mike Dunleavy.
And the Bulls have been introduced to the forum crowd. Ahmad Rashad and Steve Jones have checked out both locker rooms. They'll be reporting on sideline activities throughout the game. First, a report from Steve.
All right, Marv. Historically, the Los Angeles Lakers have responded after being blown out on the road, and they return back to the forum concerned but confident that they'll be able to reassert their low post game, and they'll be able to do a better job defensively on the hot shooting Chicago Bulls. But the question that America is really dying to know is who is going to guard Magic Johnson, and Ahmad Rashad has the answer.
All right, Steve, it will not be me, but surprisingly enough, it will be Michael Jordan. Speaking of Michael Jordan, one thing he wanted to clear up, and in game 2, he was not taunting the Laker bench. He said he was just trying to get his team pumped up. He says, I got a lot of weapons in my arsenal, and taunting is not one of them. Marv?
All right, Ahmad, and we will hear from Michael Jordan on the subject of taunting a little bit later on. Byron Scott was the one Laker who made it clear that he felt that Michael was talking trash during the course of that 3rd quarter barrage. The officials tonight, Darryl Garrettson, Bill Oakes, and Joe Crawford. Game 3 of the best of 7. The series tied at 1. Last Sunday in Chicago, the Lakers defeated the Bulls 93-91. A game played at a very high level throughout. Sam Perkins with the game winner from downtown. Magic Johnson with a triple-double. Game 2 in Chicago Wednesday night. The Bulls in a blowout, 107-86, sparked by Jordan. Overall, 15 of 18 from the field, and at one point, he hit 13 in a row. The Bulls control the tip. The backcourt of Paxson and Jordan. Up front, Cartwright with Grant and Pippen. Horace Grant had an excellent game on Wednesday, as did Bill Cartwright. Magic guarding Jordan, who's able to convert on his first field goal attempt.
And the question is answered immediately. Michael Jordan picking up Magic Johnson in the backcourt, pressuring him out here. And I would think that Phil Jackson will play it the same way. Start Jordan on him and then change somewhere along the line.
Nice fake by Divac, who has come up strong in the playoffs. And the game is tied at 2. Talking about that yesterday with Phil Jackson as Jordan goes to the hoop. On the back tap, Pippen keeps it alive. Here is Paxson. Oh, he is on fire, 8 for 8 the other night in Chicago, and he drills his first attempt. Bulls lead it 4-2. Phil Jackson telling us that probably would be the plan. Michael Jordan picking up the early fouls and going up against Magic Johnson the other night. Scottie Pippen did a terrific job against Magic. Worthy, yes. Game tied at 4.
Another part of the chess match. Immediately we see Byron Scott entering the ball to the post-up man Perkins. Rather than Magic, they've got the shooter Byron entering, trying to get him more shots in this game.
Byron Scott has not been able to get going offensively, and of course has had his hands full on the other end with Jordan. Magic checking the floor, looking for the break, did not see it. Magic spinning and then dumping off to Divac. It counts, and the foul. Foul committed by Cartwright.
You can tell that the Lakers are prepared for the trap coming from the baseline. Jordan turns in baseline. As the rotation takes place, Divac finds the opening in the middle of the lane to receive Magic's pass. Perkins was ready, sneaking under the basket in case they needed one more pass.
Lakers take the 7-4 lead. And of defense from the Forum crowd, they have been into it in terms of decibel level during the playoffs. And the blocking foul called on Scott. Byron Scott, the other night, picked up fouls in a hurry in that third quarter. He was taken right out of the game.
Anytime you're going to get up that close on Michael Jordan, he's so good taking the ball and facing up on the basket. It's a problem for him.
Cartwright, not the touch he was looking for, but Grant is right there. Lakers lead it by the score of 7-6. Horace Grant, game 2, had a 10 for 13 for 20 points. A big bounce back after his performance in game 1. Divac called for the travel. So the Bulls will take over game 4 here in Los Angeles, Sunday night, 7 o'clock Eastern time. That'll be 4 here on the West Coast. Please note that change in time in game 5 here at the Forum. Wednesday night, 9 o'clock start Eastern time. Jordan with the tip, and Perkins rebound.
Divac making a nice play, covering for the beaten defender, Byron Scott. Divac gets a piece of it, changes the shot.
Magic spinning, and he was hacked. Pippen came over to help out. And Scottie Pippen picks up his first.
One thing that they were concerned about was getting much more help defensively on Michael Jordan. No one man can play him alone, but the team defense can affect him. Magic, after the miss, pushing the ball back, and unusual for the Lakers, a shot going up after only 8 seconds was taken off the 24-second clock.
22nd timeout called with 3 minutes gone by in this first quarter, and the Lakers leading the Bulls by the score of 7-6. Bulls have hit 3 of the first 8. Lakers 3 for 3 from the field. Mike Dunleavy, in his first season as head coach of the LA Lakers, has not had success when he's gone to the bench over the first 2 games. AC Green has had his difficulties, did not shoot well in game 2. Terry Teagle has not done it. Only 1 for 5 from the field. Magic Johnson with 2 shots. The Lakers hit 21 of 22 from the line in game number 2. The only miss by James Worthy. The foul shooting was terrific. 21 of 22 represents the 2nd best in NBA final history. Here's Grant. Back in '86, the Boston Celtics hit 23 of 24 against the Houston Rockets. It's the Lakers with a 9-8 lead.
And now we see Byron Scott bringing the ball up the floor against the pressure. He'll make the entry pass in, treating Scott almost as the point guard now, and Magic as the off guard, posting up down low.
Magic looking to get into it offensively early. That's his first field goal. Lakers lead by 3. Pippen not given that outside shot. Worthy all over him. And here's it from the crowd. Good defensive sequence by the Bulls. Paxson. Yes! John Paxson again. 8 for 8. In Chicago, make it 2 for 2 thus far tonight. Lakers with a 1-point lead. Now Worthy posting Pippen. Oh, a fling shot. Worthy able to go glass, and he's extended to a 3-point lead. Lakers have hit 5 of 5 from the field. Grant taking advantage of the overplay by Divac.
But the Lakers have a much different mindset now on offense than they had in Game 2. They understand that the ball will be taken out of Magic's hands. The next person who catches the pass from Magic must advance it, take it up the floor, and then get him into their offense.
Worthy angling for the excellent position against Pippen. Lakers 15 and the Bulls 12. 4.5 gone by. Cartwright played by Perkins. Scott with the hand check. Here's Grant. Divac poked it away. Bulls able to get back. Byron Scott having difficulty locating a shot. Magic spinning and hitting. Beautiful move by Magic Johnson on Michael Jordan.
Because of Magic's size, if you're going to trap from the baseline, that defensive player away from the ball must come soon. He must get there to form a trap, a double team. Can't give him a clear look at the basket.
And Jordan hits from long range. His second field goal. He's 2 out of 5. Here's the pressure on Johnson. Perkins back to help out. Lakers 17-14 over Chicago. And the Lakers have opened up by hitting their first 7 field goal attempts. Shot clock out at 5. 3, 2, and Divac fired it up.
That's not the kind of shot that they wanted, and again, it was a result of the good Bulls defense forced that shot clock down before Magic could get the ball back and start him into the play that they wanted to run.
Nice ball movement. Paxson locating Pippen, taking advantage of the Lakers double teaming.
It's exactly what the Bulls coaching staff wanted. Start the ball on one side of the floor, reverse it as Magic comes up lame as he comes over the half-court line.
And Magic try to walk it off, hobbles back to the Laker bench. Lakers lead it by 1 point.
Jordan keeping the constant pressure on Magic Johnson as he brings it up the floor. Magic looking ahead to find his teammates. The right foot steps on Jordan's right foot. Magic comes up lame right there as he comes over the half-court line, then calling for the timeout.
All right, he is the czar of the telestrator. Now let's go to Steve Jones.
All right, Marv, he did step on the foot of Jordan. He turned it slightly, told trainer Gary Beatty he was going to give it a go. We'll keep an eye on it, make sure that he's all right. Back to you.
All right, Steve, 5:48 remaining in this first quarter. It's the Lakers 17 and the Bulls 16. Laker ball as we resume. Here is Byron Scott. A rare instant of daylight for Scott. Jordan from downtown. Michael Jordan with a three-pointer. And it gives the Bulls a 19-17 lead. Jordan has 7 points. Tough to tell the effect Magic Johnson has suffered. And Joe Crawford with the call against the Bulls. That's the second committed by Cartwright.
Both big men down low, fighting for position. Cartwright eventually coming around, trying to front the post player. Called for the hold.
Again, Magic looking to put a move on Jordan. The help came over, and Magic able to find Perkins.
And that's the second man. Divac is the first option when he flashes across. If he's taken by a defensive player on the rotation, then the second man, Perkins, flashes right in behind him.
Here's Jordan. Yes. Well, Michael Jordan getting off fast in this first quarter, which is not necessarily a good sign, as the Bulls have discovered during the course of the regular season. And in the playoffs, that's the case in game number 1 last Sunday afternoon. Michael with 9 points and 2 assists off the turnover. The Bulls back to the offense. They lead it 21-19. Lakers with a hot shooting first quarter, hit their first 7, and they're 8 for 10. Bulls have also shot well again. They're 10 for 15. Jordan looking for Grant. It'll be Laker ball.
A little bit of the same treatment by the Lakers that time. They came back and trapped Jordan from the baseline. His teammate going away, not looking for the basketball. Jordan anticipating he would come back to it. As a result, the turnover.
Will Perdue has come on for the first time. Purdue for Cartwright. He is up front with Grant and Pippen. Nice pass, and Worthy able to complete the play to tie the game at 21.
Lakers running some isolation stuff now, raising the weak side of the floor, playing basically three-man basketball.
Pippen with the swing move, rejected by Perkins. Shot clock at 7. Paxson. So Paxson finally misses after hitting 10 in a row. Pippen will stop. The long arms of Sam Perkins rejecting that shot.
Perkins getting 2 shot blocks, the same trip down the floor that time by the Bulls.
Perkins now posting on Purdue. Magic Johnson. Perkins actually intercepted that pass, but Worthy able to hit, and the Lakers lead at 23-21. Fast start by James Worthy. He has 10 points. He's hit 5 out of 5. Phil Jackson screaming in the face of John Paxson, who did not hear him. Phil asking for the timeout and finally got it.
Paxson couldn't decide whether Phil was talking to Joe Crawford, the official, or whether he was talking to him.
It's 2:51 remaining with the timeout taken. 2 minutes 40 seconds to go in this opening quarter. It's the Lakers with a 23-21 lead. Laker backcourt doing it once again. The combination of Jordan and Paxson. Here's Perkins. Now Jordan making the move around Scott. And it will be Laker ball. Michael Jordan 4 for 8 for 9 points. Magic Johnson has attempted 2 shots. He's hit both. He has 5 assists along with 6 points. Here is Scott, and he was fouled.
The Lakers trying so hard to get Byron Scott into the offense. That time ran a triple screen for Scott along the baseline, starting him on the right side of the floor and then running him underneath the backboard along screens by 3 big men.
John Paxson called for the foul. The hand for Worthy, sitting down with 10 points. AC Green has checked in for the first time. He comes off an off-shooting performance after the excellent series against Portland. Someone figured out that Byron Scott, since Michael Jordan has come into the league, and they have only met twice each season, has shot under 40% when he's been matched up with Jordan and the Chicago Bulls. He says he's not effective, but you get the idea. He certainly is taken out of his game at both ends.
Well, it's a long day. Travel right there by Scottie Pippen on his way to the basket. It's a long day knowing that come game time that night, you have to go head up against Michael Jordan. You know you're going to get teammates, help from your teammates rather, but basically it's still you against him in the matchup. It has its effects on you. You use up a lot of energy at the defensive end, and then Jordan's a pretty good player himself defensively when he's playing against you.
Divac, and the rebound handled by Grant. Minute and a half to go in this first quarter. Lakers have a 2-point lead. Both clubs have shot exceptionally well in this first quarter. Shot clock down at 5. 3. Jordan. Yes! Michael Jordan with a fadeaway. The shot clock was down at 2. The game is tied at 23.
And that time Scott played him about as well as you can play him. Just too much at the offensive end, Michael Jordan.
Scott was stripped. Jordan recovers. Lakers were looking for a foul. Oh, nice give and go, and Grant in perfect position. Bulls lead 25-23. Lakers have hit 10 of 14 from the field, yet they trail by 2. Magic checking the clock. Goes to the spin. He was met by Purdue. And Joe Crawford with the call at center court. it's on Purdue, who came over to help out.
Let's go back a moment ago when Scott was playing Jordan. Right there, challenges the shot, but the difference in size and the fade, the elevation by Jordan gets the shot off. He winds up with a clean look at the basket.
Magic Johnson in game number 2 shot only 4 of 13. He finished with 14 points, missed a number of layups, and appeared to be very frustrated by calls he felt he was not getting.
He felt there were a lot of late rotations, players coming over from Chicago at the last second, bumping him from the side as he was releasing the shot, and he lost his concentration in the end.
Bulls holding for a final shot as this first quarter winds down. The game is tied at 25. Jordan fires. Time running out. That's it for the first quarter here at the Forum in Inglewood. The Lakers and the Bulls are tied at 25. Michael Jordan, 11 points, 2 assists off 5 out of 10 from the field. Magic Johnson, 2 for 2, 8 points and 5 assists. We'll be back with the second quarter in just a moment. We touched on earlier, Byron Scott of the Los Angeles Lakers charged that Michael Jordan was taunting him and the Laker bench following some of his explosive moves. In game number 2, there you see the quote, "We noticed Michael taunting our bench. That's not something to do early in the series. Got us upset, and we'll be ready at home," says Byron. Well, I asked about the taunting, and here's Michael's reply.
Well, I guess if you want to say taunting, I was excited about what I was doing, what I did. I showed my emotions, fist-wise, my mouth-wise, but I never said anything to any of the players. I never pointed fingers. I've just never been able to do that against a team of their status.
Well, the Lakers are not buying it. Certainly, Michael was very pumped up, but he claims he was just excited by what was happening. What do you think?
When you lose by 21 points, you find any way you can to get your teammates ready for the next game coming up. You try to gain that edge.
Well, Michael said to me that he felt that the Lakers were trying to motivate themselves off the taunting. Here is Magic. Yes! That was just within 2-point range. Second quarter underway, and the Lakers now lead 27-25. In the first quarter, the Lakers 10 for 14 from the field, while Chicago at 12 for 21. So we have 72% and 57% shooting. Again, the strong inside move by Horace Grant. He is now 5 for 6 from the field. The game tied at 27.
The Bulls inside people do an excellent job of looking and finding openings and then flashing to them when it looks like someone else is the first option.
And Devon's getting great position against Purdue. Lakers certainly not discouraged about the way the Bulls are defending against the post-up here in the first half.
No, they were prepared in the first quarter. 7 post-up opportunities, 5 times they scored for 10 points.
Scottie Pippen with his second field goal. Worthy tipping it to Teagle. Oh, terrific play by Worthy to recover on the pass that was overthrown.
Perhaps the most important thing is that he helped to get Terry Teagle off. In 24 minutes in the first 2 games, only 1 for 5. Teagle certainly welcomed the layup.
Substitutions by both clubs. Bill Cartwright returning. Craig Hodges has come on. Cliff Livingston will check in. And Terry Teagle on the floor for the first time.
As Magic looks up the floor, the pass is a little bit long. Worthy with one hand releases to Teagle, understanding that Hodges was sneaking underneath for the possible steal.
Lakers with a 31-29 lead. Minute 40 gone by in the second quarter. Cartwright was feeling around for the defender Worthy and then lost it. Magic drew the double team momentarily. He feels it. Magic feels the touch. He's 4 for 4. He has 12, and the Lakers lead by 4.
Unusual that Magic would come down, and if there's not anything happening in the transition, just pull up and shoot with 15 or 16 remaining on the clock.
Cartwright off the fake. Livingston trying to keep it alive. Last touch by Magic Johnson. And a timeout has been taken by the Bulls. 9:44 remaining in the second. While we were away, the highlight over the last 30 seconds, a block by Terry Teagle of a jump shot attempt of Michael Jordan. That's been it. And now Teagle on the line off the foul call. Here's Armstrong coming on for the first time. BJ replacing Craig Hodges. Terry Teagle in his 9th season out of Baylor. Armstrong guarded by Larry Drew, who entered the game following the timeout. Here is Grant. Rare outside shot for Horace Grant. Last touch by the Lakers. Chicago maintaining possession. Marv Albert, Mike Fratello, Bob Rashad, Steve Jones. From the Forum in Inglewood, coming up at halftime, Bob Costas and Pat Riley. Jordan drawing the double team, able to get it to Livingston. Cliff Livingston going glass for his first field goal, and the Lakers lead by 2.
And Cliff Livingston, who's had an up-and-down season with Chicago. Phil Jackson trying to get a feel for what the best way to play him is. But after these first 2 games, most happy about the way he's played Worthy at the defensive end.
Phil Jackson so pleased with his spirited play, his energy. Here's Teagle, and that was deflected short by Jordan. So Michael returning the favor.
Will repay that time.
Cartwright feeling for Perkins, and he felt him on that bump, but able to hit. Cartwright's first field goal, and he's tied the game at 33. Armstrong with the light pressure on Drew. Green, Perkins, Worthy up front. Drew and Teagle in the backcourt. Magic Johnson receiving a rest. Perkins, Green, and the Lakers lead at 35-33.
In the Portland series, as soon as the Lakers got back to the Forum, it seemed to just rejuvenate AC Green. He just comes alive in this building, particularly on the offensive boards.
AC came up strong in that 6th game to wrap up the series against Portland. Grant, yes, beautiful move by Horace Grant, who is now 6 for 8 for 12 points. The Bulls and Lakers tied at 35. Worthy goes to the hook against Livingston. Now Jordan met on the switch. Perkins defending against him. And it will be Laker ball. Michael Jordan is 5 for 12 for his 11 points. Timeout has been called by the Lakers. 6:31 remaining in the second. The scene is shifted to Magic's kingdom as we welcome you back. The Forum in Inglewood, California. Capacity crowd 17,505 on hand, and both clubs burning it up. In game 2 in Chicago, the Bulls shot a NBA Finals record 61.7%. They hit 50 of 81 from the field. In that blistering third quarter, they connected on 17 of 20, and both clubs have shot well here in the first half. Chicago, as you saw, at 57%. The Lakers at 15 for 22. They are just under 70% for the half.
And again, one statistic that keeps jumping out at you. After the first 2 games, 30 more free throw attempts for the Lakers. In this game so far, 9 for the Lakers, 0 for the Bulls.
Magic Johnson back on the floor in the backcourt with Terry Teagle. It will be Laker ball with 8 on the shot clock. Up front, Perkins, Worthy, and Devons.
Unusual to see Bill Cartwright out above the top of the three-point circle, pressuring Sam Perkins, who was acting as the point guard.
Divac battling his way against Pippen, and then hits. Vlade Divac showing the outside touch as Phil Jackson has gone back to the matchup of the smaller player, Scottie Pippen, who goes 6'7", against Vlade Divac, who goes 7'1". And the foul call on Bill Cartwright. That is 3 on Cartwright.
Cartwright using the free arm, left arm to hold Divac off. A little shove right at the end, and a nice acting job by Vlade after the ball's entered to miss the bill. The body trying to move him out by Divac. Cartwright trying to clear him off his body with that left elbow.
And Phil Jackson taking out Cartwright, who just collected his third, and he's going with the rookie from North Carolina, a native of Los Angeles, Scott Williams, who has played well during the playoffs. Bulls trapping Magic, who was able to get it across the midcourt line. Perkins. Oh, what a move. Lakers lead at 39-35. Williams up front now with Pippen and Livingston, Jordan and Armstrong at the guard. Scott Williams drew the foul.
Perkins is the main post-up guy for Los Angeles. He wants to come into the middle of the floor to his right shoulder, but they keep forcing him baseline, shows it, and then gives a little up and under move. Concentration excellent at all times, keeping his eyes on that target.
Sam Perkins called for the foul, his first, and Scott Williams to the line. As you saw, the Lakers have been going to the foul line frequently, and the Bulls have not. Phil Jackson has been making that point at every opportunity.
It's a matter of how many times you're going to put the ball down in the post. Keep in mind the Lakers have so many more post-up players than the Bulls do.
Are you saying the disparity is understandable?
I'm saying that LA is in trouble right now with this guy handling against Michael.
And it is a backcourt 10-second violation. Divac handles the ball well, but you do not want Vlade one-on-one with Magic Johnson as he's bouncing the ball.
I was trying to get it in a little bit sooner, but you knew he was having big problems when Michael decided to stay with him. Vlade was hoping he would run away and go somewhere else, but he didn't disappear.
5 minutes remaining in the first half. Lakers with a 3-point lead. Pippen off the stutter step. Yes. Scottie Pippen with his third bucket. He has 6. Again, pressure by the Bulls. And now they drop back as Magic is able to handle it.
And Pippen now the defender putting the pressure on Magic, which was the turning point in game 2.
Magic spinning away. And here come the Bulls on the run. Pippen looking for someone, couldn't find anyone. Oh, what a play by Livingston to break it up, but it will be Laker ball.
The Bulls' defense is excellent. Their traps are aggressive, but probably more importantly is the way that they recover defensively. Here, the Lakers make a pretty good recovery themselves with Teagle breaking up the fast break opportunity. Both teams very good in transition defense.
Worthy for 3. Perkins missed the tip. And the Bulls back to the offense. Livingston, yes, a rare jump shot opportunity by Livingston. And he has had himself a very nice first half offensively. Hit on a sweeping shot and now the jumper.
And you can see the confidence that Michael Jordan has built in Livingston. Steal right there by Chicago. Jordan twice in a row dishing to Livingston for scores.
And Michael Jordan converts. He has 13. The Bulls lead by 3. Good run here by Chicago. 7 unanswered. The Lakers want to talk it over with 3:39 remaining. In the second quarter, it is called a 20-second timeout.
They are so quick and they cover so much ground, the Bulls, that they produce a large number of turnovers, but it's nothing that should surprise you. This has happened the entire season. 4th best in the league this year, coming up with steals and easy points.
Bulls by 3. with 3.5 left, first half. Nice setup. Divac was stopped. Again, Livingston getting a piece of it. Here comes Pippen, had it knocked away, and a kick ball being indicated. Bill Oates with the call.
Once again, the transition defense stopping a potential fast break score. Divac's wide open for the layup, but then Livingston from behind gets a piece. Quickness to the ball. Transition defense, a little boot to help out.
Yes, and on that boot, Bulls able to get it back, and Williams was hit. Looked like he got jammed in the shoulder. He has had shoulder problems. Foul called on Divac is first. In fact, Scott Williams had the shoulder pop out, we're told, when he was sleeping the other night. Very active dreamer, Scott Williams.
Williams a little bit smaller, but quicker in the whole area, giving Divac a little bit of a problem there, making a quick move rather than the Cartwright, back down, contact, get him off your move.
Scott Williams will require shoulder surgery following the season. Scott 2 out of 4 from the foul line. The Bulls 43, Lakers 39. 8 consecutive points by Chicago to take the lead as we come up on 3 minutes remaining in the first half. Magic backing Pippen and then spinning, rejected emphatically by Livingston. The steal by Divac. It's a 3-on-2. Worthy with the one-on-one move. Yes. Bulls 43 and the Lakers 41. Crowd with the chant of defense. Cliff Livingston has come off the bench and has provided a spark both defensively and offensively. Backdoor pass attempted, broke it up. Last touch by the Lakers. It will be Chicago ball. They'll have only 2 on the shot clock, and they'll throw it in following the timeout. We'll be back in a moment. In his 9th year out of Wichita State, Cliff Livingston, one-time Detroit Piston, one-time Atlanta Hawk, I recall, Mike.
A most valuable Hawk coming off the bench behind Dominique Wilkins, playing both sides of the floor. Noted for his hustle, aggressive play, and defense. Livingston on the baseline rotation, just where the Bulls want to bring him, rewarded at the other end, knocking out the jumper.
4 points, 2 block shots for the quick leaping Cliff Livingston. Last year came an overweight in Atlanta, never got going. Then signed as a free agent by the Bulls. 24-second violation. Bulls lead by 2, 43-41. Laker ball with 2:20 remaining in this first half.
And just then, James Worthy stayed in the backcourt, set a little screen to try and get Pippen off Magic and free him up.
Worthy freed up. Perkins. Sam Perkins ties the game at 43. The High Point men, Magic and Worthy, 12 apiece. Jordan, 13. Grant has 12. Scott Williams. And back come the Lakers. Rare opportunity to run, but the Bulls got back. Scott pumping. Byron Scott continues to have his difficulties. The Bulls now on the run. Pippen sweeping in, and he was blocked. Foul called on Divac.
I think the shot at the other end of the floor by Byron Scott was just frustration. He said, look, I've got to try and get myself going, get into this thing. He could have crossed the ball over to the other side of the floor to an open teammate. Instead, he decided to pull up and try and get it going himself. He's got a big defender coming after him, a good challenge that time by Scott Williams. The frustration is setting in little by little.
Minute 36 remaining in this first half. Scottie Pippen, who has averaged 22 a game in the playoffs, shooting over 50% in his 4th year out of Central Arkansas, and year by year, he has improved in every offensive and defensive category. See that 20-point total game too, but that only told part of the story because he did it defensively against Magic Johnson, taking over to Michael Jordan. Bulls have a 1-point lead. Game 3 of the best of 7 NBA Finals. Series tied at 1. Bulls playing Magic very well. You saw Pippen get the help. And 3 Bulls go to the glass.
That time the Lakers got the ball to the weak side, but it came a little bit late. They need to get it over to the other side of the floor. Start at one side, get it over to the other side, make the Bulls defense react.
Scott off the steal, finds Worthy. Beautifully done by Byron Scott. He drew Michael Jordan to him, and he had an open man in James Worthy. Lakers 45, the Bulls 44.
Jordan in the middle of the floor, trying to go one-on-one, create, try and hit the shooter in the corner for a 3.
Armstrong. And here come the Lakers. Again on the run. Worthy fouled by Pippen.
The rotation by LA producing the fast break opportunity. And then Scott, who used to be a point guard in college, makes the play by hitting Worthy. Magic likes the idea that they get the transition game going. His favorite target, James Worthy at the end.
And Pippen, upset, had something to say to the officials. Called for a technical foul. Magic Johnson converting the tee. Lakers lead it 46-44, and now Worthy to the free throw line.
As soon as the technical was called, Michael Jordan went over to Pippen, grabbed him, walked him away, started talking to him, explaining, settle down, relax. Let's not get these officials turned against any team versus the other.
Crowd reacting to the rare miss tonight by Worthy in his first free throw appearance. He is 7 for 11 from the field. James Worthy coming up big once again. He has 15. He's come back strong following the ankle injury.
Same spread play. This time, though, Scottie Pippen's the guy to make the play or make the pass.
And Darryl Garrison with the indication. Loose ball foul on Divac. That is his 3rd foul. 18 seconds remaining in this first half. AC Green will check in, replacing Vlade Divac, who departs with 9 and 3 personal. So both Divac and Cartwright sitting down with 3. And Grant to the foul line with the Lakers over the limit. Horace Grant hitting on his first foul shot opportunity. Livingston returning, replacing Scott Williams. Horace Grant with the prescription goggles once again. He had discarded the goggles. He said during the playoff series against the Knicks, Patrick Ewing, Charles Oakley purposely knocking them off. The same thing happened in the series against the Sixers. So he felt the Pistons would do the same, and he took them off, put them back on for the NBA final. And he has shot very well. Byron Scott, final seconds of the half, and a foul being called on the Lakers. Worthy reaching in with 4 seconds to go in the first half. They changed the call. Byron Scott now picks it up.
I'm sure if the Lakers would have had their choice, they would have run the clock down and taken the last shot of the half. But because the Bulls went into their full court pressing, trapping defense, a hurried shot takes place, the miss, and as a result, the Bulls go to the line for 2 free throws.
And Michael Jordan on the line for the first time. Jordan 6 for 13. He has 13 points. In the playoffs, averaging better than 31 per game. That is the best in the NBA. Michael leading the NBA in scoring for the 5th straight season. That is only 2 away from the record held by Wilt Chamberlain. The Bulls by 1. 4 seconds remaining in the half. Worthy fires. Good first half here at the Forum in Inglewood. The High Point men, James Worthy with 15. Magic Johnson with 13. Michael Jordan with 15. And Horace Grant with 14. The Chicago Bulls 48. And the Los Angeles Lakers 47 as we head to halftime. Lakers and the Bulls headed back to the locker room. Here is that last second attempt from downtown by James Worthy, just off to the left side. Bob Costas and Pat Riley coming up at halftime. The Bulls by 1 in Game 3 of the NBA Championship Series. Back at the Forum, Marv Albert, along with Mike Fratello, Ahmad Rashad, Steve Jones. As we look at the close-up statistics in the first half, again, both clubs shot well. 54% by the Bulls and the Lakers. And this, the main difference, the Bulls crunching the Lakers off the boards.
Big difference in the rebounds, but also big difference in turnovers. 10-4, 10 turnovers for the Bulls. As a result, most games, the Bulls, in the first 2 games, 11 more shots a game for the Bulls. Right now, 37 shot attempts for each team because of the difference in turnovers.
Lakers open up with Magic Johnson, Byron Scott in the backcourt. Vlade Divac playing with 3 along with James Worthy and Sam Perkins. Divac getting inside. He now has 11. And the Lakers lead it by 1. It's been close throughout. At one stretch, Chicago led by 4. At one point, Los Angeles had a 5-point lead. Jordan off the double team, got it back out. Pippen, yes. Bulls 50 and the Lakers 49. And Scottie Pippen is hitting the jumper. He now has 9.
That time the Lakers, after the double team, tried to half rotate. They pretended they were going to rotate to Pippen, then went back to their own men. Pippen knocked it out.
What a save by Pippen. Jordan on the rebound. It is so rare to see Jordan on the drive, not A, score, or B, get fouled. So he got the rebound. And a timeout called. It's a 20-second timeout taken by the Lakers.
Well, after the great save takes place by Pippen, what happens is Michael comes up with the ball. He heads to the basket at the other end. But now, as he starts to take off, Perkins moves into his body. He doesn't quite have the lift and not enough extension there to finish it off. So he just kind of hustles back on the floor and says, I'll do it this way.
The Chicago Bulls in Game 2 Wednesday night at Chicago Stadium shot an NBA Finals record 61.7%. They hit 50 out of 81. And both clubs have shot exceptionally well here tonight. Michael Jordan with 17. He's 7 for 15 from the field. Magic Johnson 4 out of 6 for his 13. Worthy, the high man for the Lakers, with 15. Jordan with 17. Grant with 14. Pacing the Bulls. Perkins putting the move on Cartwright. Stepped away, perhaps not looking to pick up number 4. 1-point lead by Chicago with 1:40 gone by in the third. Cartwright and Worthy on the rebound.
That's the long arm of Sam Perkins, the extension, challenging the shot that's throwing Bill Cartwright off just a little bit right now.
Magic posting. Oh, what a pass for Divac.
And Divac made the baseline cut that time a little bit sooner than he had been doing it. He caught the Bulls defense by surprise.
Los Angeles Lakers by 1. Good recovery by Divac, and it forced the turnover.
But you notice as soon as the Lakers seem to have a break, there's 4 red shirts back. Excellent transition defense.
Magic. Paxson on the wing was open. Shot clock at 10. Paxson guarded by Johnson, has to unleash. He forced it. He thought he was fouled. 24-second violation. John Paxson arguing with the outside official, Bill Oakes. looking for a hack and did not get the call.
Paxson basically saying, just because this was a launch, I had to get it up at the last second. If I get fouled, call the foul. He feels it right there on his right arm. Scott made contact. That's what he's asking for.
Beautiful backdoor pass. Divac from Johnson. Lakers with a three-point advantage.
The Lakers used that same back pick play from the top of the circle fouling area twice in game 2, scored both times there as well.
Turnovers have been hurting the Bulls. They have now committed 13, Lakers with only 6. Scott spotting up. Byron Scott now 0 for 4. The Chicago Bulls in possession. They are trailing by 3. Jordan with the step and was forced to pop it back out. And Pippen run into by Worthy. Pippen faking, then holding and faking again, and he drew the foul.
Let's go back a moment ago to one of the favorite plays the Lakers like to use only 2-3 times. A back pick right there. Small man Scott on big man. The lob over the top by Magic, and then the receiver who has excellent hands able to convert.
Scottie Pippen has hit 2 of 3 from the line. He is a 70% free throw shooter. This series resumes Sunday night. Game 4 here in Los Angeles. That'll be 7 p.m. Eastern time. That's 4 out here on the West Coast. Please note that change in time. And then game 5 at the Forum on Wednesday at 9 o'clock Eastern time. Lakers with a 1-point lead. 4 minutes gone by in the third. Crowd looking for a foul on Pippen, who plays Magic aggressively. What a pass! Perkins converting to give the Lakers a 57-54 lead. And Phil Jackson calling for time.
I think Phil Jackson sees that they're ready for the way they've been playing. Jordan now on Divac. Lakers go to it right away, and then the other 2 Laker players went to the open areas on the floor. Interior passing. Small man on big. Keep your head turned to the lane. The double team of Worthy and Perkins versus Cartwright is too much. Excellent interior passing. First one, second one to finish off the play. They're in the correct positions, attacking Jordan, who's matched up against Divac.
And this crowd raising its intensity. They've been quiet right throughout the first half.
It's almost as if this crowd was sitting there saying, wait a minute, these Bulls are going to go away. They're not for real. They are for real. The crowd needs to get into the game and help the Lakers here at home.
Lakers have a 3-point edge. Magic Johnson guarding John Paxson now. And a loose ball foul called. Grant picks up his first. Phil Jackson, in his second year as head coach of the Chicago Bulls, 45 years old. He was a combination philosophy, psychology, and religion major at North Dakota, where he played for Bill Fitch, who is now the head coach of the New Jersey Nets. Divac off the spin.
Same matchup in game 2, except the Lakers didn't go to it on a consistent basis. There's the second time in a row this evening.
Perkins with the rejection. Lakers on a roll. They lead by 5. Magic Johnson, yes! The Bulls calling for the timeout.
Lakers have made a decision. They're going down in the hole. Make Jordan play Divac one-on-one. It's a mismatch. Too big, too strong. Backs him down. But the key for the Lakers is if they pick up their intensity at the defensive end, make things happen with the defense, as Perkins does, there's no question then at the offensive end of the floor, the Magic Man will take over and make things happen. The crowd back into it again at the Forum. The excitement back in the air. The Lakers love it.
And Vlade Divac has hit 4 for 4 from the field here in this third quarter. Do you look for an adjustment by Phil Jackson?
Perhaps you go back to your original matchup, put Jordan back on Magic Man.
It is a backcourt violation. So the Lakers take possession in front court.
Defensive pressure, defensive intensity, more concentration, all the things the staff talked about for the Lakers today.
Chicago only 2 for 8 from the field in the third. Lakers 7 for 9 in the third quarter.
And the matchup again, Grant goes back on Divac as Jordan goes back to Magic.
Nice pass, and the foul is called. Beautiful whip pass, Perkins hitting the floor. Pippen called for his third foul.
The crowd kind of reacting to game 2, where the flagrant foul was called against the Lakers. This one on the cut, just a late rotation, takes the legs out. Sam goes down hard. Excellent interior passing by this Laker team. They look for one another, and it's really by both teams. You're talking about the players up front, all looking for one another, knowing where they're going to be, and then the biggest thing, being able to execute, make the pass.
Sam Perkins, 82% free throw shooter. Lakers in the midst of a 13-2 run. Stacey King now checking in, replacing Bill Cartwright. Let's go over to Ahmad.
Well, Mark, during that last time out, Phil Jackson was very concerned about his offense, thought Michael Jordan was trying to do a little bit too much. They wanted to try to get Cartwright, who has just gone to the bench, get more involved. They want to use Michael more as a decoy and try to kick it out to Scottie Pippen.
All right, Ahmad. I would think forget about using Michael Jordan as a decoy. He better begin to light it up. Well, this one will get away. Pippen for 3. Lakers with a 63-54 lead in the midst of a 14-2 run. Jordan with the steal. And here's Jordan. Rebounded by Magic. Held by King. Stacey King grabbing for the shorts of Magic Johnson.
Stacey King saving a transition score versus the Lakers. Magic busting out. King says, wait a minute, get back here. Let me grab that jersey and hang on.
Stacey King has not seen much action during the course of the playoffs, making his first appearance of this game in his second year out of Oklahoma, and now guarding Perkins, who whips by him.
The double team was coming from the baseline that time. Perkins was able to turn it and get to the middle of the floor. Uncontested shot.
16-2 burst by the Lakers. Paxson passed up 3, can't hit the 2. Jordan on the recovery. And King could not hold on, but it was batted out by Johnson. It will be Chicago ball. They have 20 on the 24, 5:10 remaining in the third quarter. The Lakers lead it by 11. The Bulls only 2 for 11 this quarter. Here's Pippen, make it 2 for 12.
Just looking a little bit like the way game 2 started to open up at the stadium. Around a 3 to 5 point lead for the Bulls. Then midway through that third quarter, they exploded to the big lead.
What a pass! Magic Johnson combining with Vlade Divac, and Phil Jackson wants to talk it over again. The Lakers with an 18-2 run now lead the Bulls by 13 points with 4:46 to go in the third.
2 great ones digging in, concentrating, one on offense, one on defense, and then at the last second, the hook pass by Magic, finding Divac cutting under the basket.
Vlade Divac, a major factor in this Laker third quarter explosion. 9 for 12 overall. He's hit 5 for 5 in the third. Michael Jordan has been off his game to this point. Magic Johnson has picked it up. He has 15 points along with 9 assists. Paxson getting in, and that ends the 12-0 run by the Lakers.
Seems like a simple little play, a little guard brush screen, but when you don't communicate on defense, it winds up being 2 points, a layup.
Oh, a guard brush screen. I was going to use the same terminology. Again, Divac, who has hit 6 for 6 in the third. Prior to that guard brush screen, Chicago had missed 9 consecutive shots. Lakers 69, the Bulls 56. Lakers want a tie-up, but the foul has been called. It's on Magic.
Divac, a big, skilled player, has the ability to face up, knock him out, halfway in between a center and power forward with a little bit of small forward in him as well.
Stacey King to the line for the first time. It has been a rocky season for Stacey. Earlier, upset about his lack of playing time, boycotted a practice. His extra weight did not delight the coaching staff. #1 draft pick last season, 6th selection overall. A lot of talent there. Stacey in his second year out of Oklahoma getting the playing time here this evening. Bulls to the trap. Perkins back to help. Just under 4 minutes remaining in the third. Lakers lead it by 11.
Just getting set up now with 8 seconds on the 24-second clock.
Magic. He had to fling it. And a foul. Grant coming over the top of Perkins. Lakers got a break on that sequence that was out of sync. But Horace Grant called for his second.
And that's the exact reason why players launch up some bad shots, because you got to get it up there to give your team a second chance. You never know what's going to happen. It just might fall in your hands.
Sam Perkins 2 for 2 from the free throw line. Sam, one of the Laker heroes in the victory in Chicago in game #1. Took the shot from downtown, and Michael Jordan not able to hit. Jordan said after the game the wrong guy from North Carolina converted the shot. Lakers 70 and the Bulls 58. Paxson lost Magic momentarily off the screen. Scott switches off. King given the room. Grant drawing the double team. Paxson shooting. And he got the friendly roll. John Paxson has 8 points. Lakers 70 and the Bulls 60. Good double team, and it was kicked out by the Bulls. Magic trapped by the combination of Jordan and Pippen.
Those are 2 tough guys to get trapped by. Aggressive, great hands, long arms.
And is that an inadvertent whistle or a timeout? Timeout has been taken. The play continued, but the timeout taken. They may have to adjust the shot clock with 2:58 remaining in the third quarter. The Lakers have a 10-point lead. They have just changed the shot clock. Exactly 3 minutes left in the third, and now they are saying it is a full timeout. High point man of the game, Vlade Divac, who has come on strong here in the third, now has 21. He's hit on 10 out of 13. Chicago Bulls in game 2 on Wednesday, 17 for 20 from the field. But a different story tonight, only 4 out of 14. Michael Jordan, high man with 17. Horace Grant with 14. Michael has been very quiet, though, here in the third. Following game 2, all that people were talking about was that incredible shot by Michael in traffic. It will go down as one of the classics. Certainly among Michael's top 10, perhaps top 5. Going to the left hand and then able to hit. And earlier I talked about that shot with Michael Jordan.
It was something that just happened instantaneously. I didn't think about it. It was more or less creativity while I was doing my job. But it was one of those exciting plays that a lot of people got excited over, and that's some of the enjoyment that I get out of playing the game, that people can have the same type of excitement that I have going through it.
Where would you rate it? Is it a Michael Jordan top 10, top 5?
I would have to say it's in the top 10. Looking back at it and the decision that I made at that particular time to change my shot and still have the concentration to make it at those times is incredible.
Well, he begrudgingly put it in the top 10. Play is resumed with the Lakers up by 10. Worthy. Perkins. Sam Perkins with the finger roll rebound, providing the Lakers with a 12-point lead. Grant hit by Divac. Fourth foul on Vlade Divac. This is game 3 of the best-of-7 NBA Finals. Series tied at 1. Game 4 here in LA Sunday night, starting at 7 o'clock Eastern Time. Well, Magic with some words for Vlade Divac. We have seen that from time to time.
But Vlade has such a great attitude. He says, Magic is just trying to help me. I've become such a much better player this season than past years. He's willing to accept it. That's the key to the whole thing.
At times, according to Magic Johnson, and we talked about this extensively with Magic the other day, he feels that Vlade's head goes out of the ball game, loses the concentration, and he's just trying to get him back into it. Is that European mentality where the guys don't play with the same intensity game in, game out?
They don't play with the same intensity over the extended minutes that are required in the NBA. The other thing is, let's maybe give some portion of that to the language barrier problem. Maybe he's not quite sure everything that's being said or going on in the timeouts and the huddles.
Pippen off the steal. And the foul given. Perkins collecting his second. Lakers with a 72-62 lead. Turning it on here in the third. At one point, Chicago missed 9 consecutive shots. An 18-2 run. Got it going. Here's Pippen. Stopped by Green. A.C. Green with the rejection. Magic went to the baby hook. Rebounded by Pippen. Paxson spotting up from downtown. And Magic Johnson able to strip Horace Grant. Perkins posting Williams. Won't count. Traveling violation. So Scott Williams, who was reinserted, now guarding Sam Perkins.
It's such a fine line when you're taking those long strides, but taking them in slow motion, whether or not it's a travel or whether the ball's released first.
Here's Jordan. It has not been a third quarter for Michael Jordan. Pippen on the steal. Jordan, and the foul indicated.
You know, it was in the third quarter in game 2 when the Bulls made their big run that they basically turned Michael Jordan back into the point guard running the team on a regular basis, put the ball in his hands in the middle of the floor, sent the other players to the wing, and that's where Michael hit Paxson for spot-up jumpers, was able to go on his own, eventually knocked out 13 straight field goal attempts. But Michael moving over to the point guard position was part of that big explosion by the Bulls.
Michael in the third quarter tonight only 1 for 5 from the floor. Overall 7 for 18. Game 1, 36 points, 12 assists. Game 2, he led that third quarter surge. Overall hit 15 of 18. Putting on a prime-time show with 33 points. Williams pressing Perkins. Lakers have an 8-point lead with just under 1 minute left in the third. Green. And the ball goes to Chicago.
AC Green, a pretty good face-up shooter from the top of the circle over the years in the NBA, and also in that mid-range area from the corner, struggling the last 2 games.
Jordan pounding the ball and then released to Pippen. Michael off the hard dribble, looks for the explosion. Check the clock. 4 on the 24. Williams gets it back out.
What happened that time, Michael looked up at the overhead clock looking for the 24-second clock, couldn't find it, then shifted his eyes down to the other end to locate the 24-second clock.
That's time remaining in the quarter. Pippen with the step and the bucket. Beautiful move by Scottie Pippen. 8 4/10 seconds to go. In the third, Perkins could not find anyone. Final seconds of the third. Green cut off by Grant. Worthy gets it off. The Bulls conclude the third with an 8-2 run. Lakers with a 72-66 lead. Vlade Divac with 12 of his 21 in the third. We head to the fourth at the Forum. We'll be back after these messages and a word from your local station. We welcome you back to the Forum in Inglewood, California. Better than 17,000 on hand. The toughest ticket in town. Game 3 of the best of 7. The Los Angeles Lakers outscoring the Chicago Bulls 25-18 in the third. Good run by the Bulls late to close it up. And the reason for that enormous third quarter by Los Angeles, the play of Vlade Divac. And you can see the mismatch thus far tonight at the center position, although Cartwright has not necessarily gone up against Divac. Earlier was Scottie Pippen, and Phil Jackson switched off to Horace Grant and Scott Williams. Divac overall 10 for 13 and hit 6 of 6 from the floor in the third.
Well, the Bulls also had Michael Jordan playing Divac down there for a while, and you say, well, what's the best way to play him? How come they don't keep Cartwright on him all the time? The problem is who plays Perkins. If Cartwright matches up with Divac, Perkins is too big and strong for Grant.
Michael Jordan going to the left hand. Yes. No, it won't count. The outside official. Bill Oakes with the call. Joe Crawford was about to say yes and the foul, but the outside official had the better look, and he's called for the push-off. The foul called on Jordan, his second.
The key there is whether or not the right arm was extended away from Michael's body enough to push the defensive player away. That's a decision the official made, called the offensive foul, felt he used it to get the shot off. Without the use of it, he wouldn't have gotten off.
Crowd reacting to the aggressive play of Scott Williams, but Perkins able to back him down, and the Lakers lead 74-66. Jordan only 1 for 7, 4 points in the third, now being guarded by Teagle. Jordan dumped it off, and Williams was fouled.
Keep an eye on the free arm, not the left hand, but the right arm as he starts to elevate and deliver the ball with his left hand. The right arm right there pushes off to keep the defender away from the block shot. Good call by Bill Oakes.
Scott Williams to the line. He was hit by AC Green. At one point, the Lakers led by 13. They led 67-54. At one stretch in the first half, Chicago led by 4. In the third quarter, the Bulls missed 9 consecutive shots. Lakers went on an 18-2 run. And the Lakers now lead 74-68. Divac played by Grant. Pippen over to help. Green. And the call against AC Green. Offensive foul.
When the ball goes down into the hole, you'll see Divac dribble away from the basket. He's trying to extend the Bulls' defense to then make the passing angles easier to his other teammates who cut into the open areas.
Hodges. Quick spot up by Craig Hodges. Craig, the three-point specialist, that time hitting from 2, his first field goal, and the Bulls have moved within 4. Perkins. Lakers looking for a foul.
One of those Jordan blocks from behind the post player's head as Hodges tries to make it 2 in a row, but misses.
Craig Hodges with the quick release. Magic backing his way. AC Green controlling and drew the foul. He had 3 opportunities off the offensive glass. Williams picked up the call. Timeout has been taken. We'll be right back. Well, you look at the Lakers shooting in the 4th quarter. They have struggled with 5 for 14 in game 1. In game 2, only 6 for 23, and they've opened up only 1 out of 4 over the first 2 minutes. Since that Laker 13-point lead, the Bulls, coming on strong at the end of the 3rd, have outscored the Lakers 16-7. AC Green on the line as we resume. So the Bulls, despite the good play by the Lakers in the 3rd, have been allowed to hang around. It is only a 4-point game.
As you look at those 4th quarter shooting percentages, it might be the effects of the full pressure, the relentless pressure by the Chicago Bulls. A lot of these players for the Lakers we're used to all year running down the floor and let Magic bring it down and get us going. Now they're all extended all over the floor, having to do things they haven't been used to doing. They may not be quite in the shape that they need to be for this type of pressure.
AC Green, only a 73% free throw shooter, missed both. Hodges able to keep it alive. Hodges. The officials check it out. And Darryl Garrison says Chicago ball.
The 2 officials checked with one another. Garrison looked outside to Oates. Oates back to Garrison. Garrison said, I have it. Off Divac's hands last.
Bulls have been able to hang around despite the fact that to this point it has been a subpar offensive effort by Michael Jordan. And the foul on the Lakers. It's on Teagle. Michael Jordan has played all but 1 minute of tonight's game, and he has only 1 field goal to show over the last 17 minutes and 42 seconds.
So we're saying that right now he's at 37.5 minutes for the game. He played 40 and 36 respectively in games 1 and 2. This will be his high game in minutes by the end of the evening.
Michael is only 7 for 19. But as the opposition knows, always dangerous down the stretch. Cartwright, yes. So the Bulls have now come within 2.
That's Jordan starting the whole thing by having the ball in the middle of the floor and then creating for his teammates. He's so hard to play because you have to come and double him with the wing. That leaves someone open in the corner or on the baseline.
The block by Livingston once again. That is his 3rd for the game. Beautiful look away. Jordan for Pippen, and the game is tied at 74. The Chicago Bulls have come roaring back. Lakers requesting the timeout with 8 minutes and 42 seconds remaining in the 3rd. Perkins with the left-hand flip, turned back by Livingston. And back down court, the look away from Jordan to Pippen. A 20-7 run by Chicago to tie it.
Ahmad Rashad back here at the Forum. And during that last timeout, Phil Jackson said that he's going to have to try to go with the regulars, going to try to bring Bill Cartwright back in momentarily. What they think is Magic Johnson is tired. They're going to try to wear him down with Michael Jordan's young legs. Now it is Steve Jones.
All right, Ahmad, those old legs of Magic Johnson need to get some movement. They told him that they want to go strong to the hoop. They want to make the extra pass as the Lakers have become stagnant at the offensive end. Over to you, Marv.
All right, Steve, Lakers and Bulls tied at 74, 8.5 remaining in the fourth quarter. Shot clock at 6. Magic. Lakers 76 and the Bulls 74. Magic Johnson has 17 points along with 6 rebounds, 9 assists. Cartwright has returned. Cartwright up front with Pippen and Livingston. Jordan and Hodges in the backcourt. Livingston getting inside, and he's tied the game at 76.
Cliff Livingston has come on in each game and done exactly what they need. Play tough defense, rebound for him on the glass, keep the ball alive, and then when they give him the ball, he's making the most of the scoring opportunities.
Livingston now matched with Worthy. Here's Scott, who has been quiet. He is now 0 for 5. Byron Scott has struggled throughout this series. 22-9 run by Chicago. Cartwright with the good fake, and then Perkins recovered. It will be Los Angeles ball. Magic Johnson, Byron Scott in the backcourt, Sam Perkins, James Worthy, and Vlade Divac up front. Divac off the turnover. Here comes Jordan
with the ball in his hands in the middle of the floor.
Double team on Pippen, preventing the shot. Cartwright bottled up and fouled. Divac collecting his 5th.
Divac trying to pull the same move defensively at this end that happened to him at the other end. Get that hand in there for the swipe before Cartwright can get it up. Bill has a habit of bringing the ball up in front of the defender's waist area, a good area to reach in and get that deflection.
In previous seasons, Bill Cartwright has been a solid free throw shooter, but this year at a career low, 69%. He says his mechanics have been abnormally bad because he hasn't gone to the line as often as in past years. Greg Hodges departs for John Paxson.
Divac picking up his 5th foul is very important because, as we've mentioned in the game, he's a skill player, and the way they're doubling and trapping Magic, it's been Divac who's had to bring it up a number of times. Divac who has made the key pass or catch at the offensive end of the floor. Now the ball is in AC Green's hands instead of a Divac far from the basket.
Divac sitting down as Green has come on. Bulls by 2. Here's Perkins. He recovers. Lakers and Bulls tied at 78. 6 minutes, 15 seconds remaining in the fourth. Jordan regrouping and then fires. Yes. And that is his first field goal in quite a spell. He now has 21 points.
When you mentioned Jordan was regrouping, he pulled back with his dribble. That was to try and expose an illegal defense he thought was there. Then he decided to make his move. The steal right there. Pippen on the break.
Pippen. Oh, what a move by Scottie Pippen. That was a Tim Hardaway move. He did it with the dribble drive, and the Bulls lead 82-78. Foul called on Jordan, his 3rd.
Just then, Mike Dunleavy called out 3 down to Magic as he came up the floor. Phil Jackson, watching the call, turned to the bench and said 3 down so they could make their defensive call. Perhaps perhaps a result of the spy cam picking up the 3-down call.
Spy cam that we uncovered the other day. Here's Magic going for the stuff, and he took Cartwright with him. The foul called on Jordan. That is his 4th.
When Jordan turns Magic baseline, he's hoping that his teammate is there sooner than later. That time, Bill Cartwright, too late to get there on the rotation.
Michael Jordan going up against Magic Johnson in this series has been in foul trouble on a number of occasions. Magic now 6 for 6 from the line. Lakers hurting at the line, only 11 for 19. The Bulls 82, the Lakers 80. As we come up on 5 minutes remaining in the 4th, Jordan only 2 for 8 from the field in the second half. Here is Michael, rebounded by Livingston. Cliff Livingston continues to sparkle. 8 points, 3 blocked shots. Bulls have a 4-point lead. Worthy, Bulls thought that Worthy should have been called for the charge as Livingston went down. Worthy has 17. 2-point Chicago lead. Jordan again coming up short. Worthy, yes. Lakers and Bulls tied at 84. And Chicago calls for time with 4:18 remaining in the 4th quarter.
Jordan has had a tough time knocking down shots here in the game. But Cliff Livingston, because of the ability of Michael Jordan to break the defense down and force rotations, leaves Livingston wide open on the glass to do the thing he does best, offensive rebound. Keep an eye on Michael's foot as he drives baseline. What are you looking at? He's out of bounds.
Mike, this may be in the category of a fine second guess, but has Phil Jackson gone with Michael Jordan too much tonight? He's played all but 1 minute. He's sitting him down right here, and he's also had to go up defensively against Magic Johnson. Meanwhile, Scottie Pippen with a brilliant drive. He has 19. The Bulls take an 86-84 lead. Just under 4 remaining in this 4th quarter. Foul called up high. That's 4 on Pippen.
Well, because of the number of minutes that he's played up to this point and the fact that there may have been some fatigue setting in, that's why he was coming up short on a lot of the shots. This is a difficult time to have to sit Michael Jordan down. Even if it's only for a minute, it's still one of those precious minutes down the stretch of the game.
Jordan only 2 for 9 from the field in the second half. Worthy delivers to Divac. Good play by Bryant, who interfered with the shot. He bothered Divac.
Just the rotation and the challenge of the shot threw him off enough to miss an open layup.
Bulls with a 2-point lead. And they are buying time with Michael Jordan on the bench. Grant. And the Bulls again strong to the board. Combination of Livingston and Pippen.
How many coaches would have the courage to sit Michael Jordan down in a 2-point game or a tie ball game with 4 minutes to go and then have the team respond and go up 4?
Livingston receiving credit for that tip. The outside official, Joe Crawford, with the call. It's on Pippen. That is his 5th. Here comes Jordan making his return. Michael Jordan has 4 personal fouls. Vlade Divac playing with 5. That is the 5th team foul charged to Chicago over the foul limit. And Magic Johnson to the line. Livingston departs. A terrific effort by Cliff Livingston. He was 5 for 5 from the field. 3 rebounds, 3 blocked shots. 20 points for Magic. The Bulls lead by 3 with 2:54 remaining in the fourth. Magic throwing a brick.
Lakers struggling from the free throw line this evening. All those easy points that they had in game one, from the foul line to three-point line, they're not there this evening.
Divac jumping out. Divac creating havoc, but it will be Chicago ball with only 5 on the 24.
Watch for the flash to the top of the circle by Grant, and then a little backdoor move or back pick on Paxson for the shot in the corner.
Perkins created that steal. Worthy lost it. And a break for the Bulls.
Worthy trying to go in the air. The intention was good to pass off, just lost control of the ball as he went up.
2 minutes, 25 seconds left in the fourth quarter. The Bulls with an 88-85 lead. They've come from behind. They were down by as many as 13 off a sensational shooting third quarter by the Lakers. Paxson through the foul. Will it count? No. A non-shooting call against Magic Johnson.
You need to determine whether or not Paxson is in the act of shooting. The ball fake to get Magic up. The foul takes place before he's in the act of shooting. Magic came down on Paxson before Paxson was able to get that ball up to start the shot. A good call by Darryl Garretson.
And a timeout called with 2:10 remaining in the fourth. It is a gorgeous 68-degree day in Southern California, indoors at the Forum in Inglewood. Crowd trying to get the home club going. Bulls and Lakers, 2 timeouts remaining. The next foul for the Lakers will put them over the limit. The Bulls already are. It is Chicago ball. They lead it by 3. Just under 2 minutes remaining in the fourth. Grant had it knocked away by Perkins. Magic spinning in. The Chicago lead is 1.
Magic figuring out which way the rotation was coming from. He saw he had the opening, the quickest spin move we've seen in a while.
Divac stepping out. Here's Jordan. Did not have the shot. Paxson does. And Pippen gets the new 24. Pippen shooting. And again, it's Pippen on the loose ball with 1:10 remaining in the fourth. Jordan saw the opening. Horace Grant with 18 points. And he's extended to a 3-point Chicago lead.
A 40-25 rebound advantage for the Chicago Bulls. If you're going to give them 2-3 shots at the basket, you're going to have problems.
Just under 1 minute remaining in the fourth. Shot clock at 6. Perkins. Yes. Back to a 1-point lead. 45 seconds remaining fourth quarter. Game 3 of the best of 7. Series tied at 1. And a timeout requested by Phil Jackson. 39 1/10 seconds remaining in the fourth. 14 on the shot clock. That's the scene when we return. The Bulls now have 1 timeout left. Lakers with 2. 39 1/10 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. The Bulls have come from behind. Lakers at 1 point led by as many as 13. Bulls with the ball and a 1-point lead. How do you play it if you're the Chicago Bulls?
The decision right now is, do you want to take a quick shot where you get 2 for 1? Get it up quick within 4, 5, 6 seconds, then force the Lakers to have to shoot knowing that you'll get a possession back? Or do you want to go for your best possible shot, get it in Jordan's hands, give him a screen, or let him go one-on-one and create?
And he does go one-on-one. Again, not able to hit. Divac rebounds. Lakers have the 2 timeouts, but they're moving down. They are trailing by 1. 20 seconds to go. 14 on the shot clock. Going for the game winner. Divac fumbled it, recovered, and hit. Yes, and it counts.
You've heard us say it a number of times, but Vlade Divac has great hands. He actually loses it, gets it back, possession of it away from Jordan, and then has the ability to concentrate, finish and says, oops, I actually made that one.
Mike Dunleavy checking it out, and then as Divac put it off glass, he reacted. In the process, Scottie Pippen fouled out, and Divac to the line. He is 1 for 1 from the free throw line. He has shot 78% from the line during the playoffs. Lakers only 13 for 22 from the free throw line. 10 and 9/10 seconds remaining in the fourth. The Lakers now lead it 91-90.
Divac's a 70% shooter during the regular season.
Chicago calling its final timeout. The Lakers, by virtue of the three-point play by Vlade Divac, have taken a 92-90 lead on the Chicago Bulls.
Right at this point, Magic could have called a timeout. Everyone was cut off. He elected to make the pass to Divac. It's not a good pass. Magic's arm got hit by Jordan, but Divac is able to convert at the end. Perhaps his biggest basket of the year. See, Jordan actually fouls Magic on the pass-off. The foul could have been called there. As it turns out, it may have been better for the Lakers that it was not. And then going back to his mentor to say, did I do good?
Magic Johnson still demonstrating the emotion that we saw at Michigan State and that we saw as a rookie in the pros. I can recall opening night when Kareem Abdul-Jabbar came up with a game-winning shot, first game of the season, and he was hugged by Magic. Kareem couldn't understand what was going on. 81 more games to go, and tonight's Miller Genuine Draft Player of the Game is Vlade Divac. On behalf of Vlade, NBC and Miller Genuine Draft will donate $1,000 to the Thurgood Marshall Scholarship Fund. Vlade Divac in his second NBA season out of Yugoslavia. He'll play for his home country in the 1992 Olympics following this NBA final, and Vlade will join the Yugoslav national team for the European Championships, which begin in late June in Rome. So 10 and 9/10 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. Lakers with a 2-point lead, and the question here is first looking for the 2, and if you have to, you could be forced into taking the 3 if it's open.
Well, let's go back to game 1 for the Lakers. They're down, they go for it. Perkins knocks out the 3, they go home and win. Right now, you're talking about Chicago, who is the 3rd best three-point shooting team in the NBA this year, shooting over 36%, having to make that decision. Do you win it on the road with the 3, or do you go for the tie and try to go into overtime, understanding that Pippen right now is out of the game? They're shorthanded with one of their key guys.
Lakers just took another timeout. They wanted to see what Chicago was presenting offensively, so the Lakers have one timeout remaining. The Bulls do not have any timeouts left. How would you play it? You go for the 2 first, and if it's not there, attempt the 3?
With John Paxson on the floor, with Hodges on the floor, and with the ability to put the ball in Jordan's hand in a spread situation, I take the 3 right now, go for the win, understanding there's 2 more games back here yet to play, and then go back home for 2.
Very gutsy from the sideline, aren't we? You go for the 3 for the win.
Now, you see, if I would have said go for the tie, you would have attacked the other way.
Absolutely. A reminder, Sunday night, the NBA Finals continue here on NBC at a special time. It'll be 7 p.m. Eastern. Game 4 of the Magic versus Michael showdown from right here in LA. Lakers and the Bulls continuing their battle for the coveted NBA trophy. Game 4 of the NBA Finals Sunday at 7. Please note that change in time. It'll be 4 o'clock on the West Coast. And then Game 5 here in Los Angeles on Wednesday, 9 o'clock Eastern time. High Point men, Divac 24, Perkins 23, Magic has 22 for Chicago. Jordan with 21 and Pippen with 19. You mentioned Sam Perkins hitting that clutch shot from downtown to give the victory to the Lakers, and then seconds later, Bulls certainly had an opportunity. Michael Jordan, as we flash back off the crossover, a shot that rimmed in and out. And the Lakers came away with the victory in Game 1.
Right now, the Bulls electing to take the ball in the backcourt rather than advance it to half court, feeling they have a better chance of getting it into Jordan's hands there than they would if they tried to take it at the half-court line.
And the Bulls do not have any timeouts remaining. Craig Hodges, the three-point specialist, has checked in. Here's Jordan on the pull-up. Yes! And the game is tied at 92 with 3 4/10 seconds remaining. Lakers call for a timeout, so they will use their final timeout. Michael Jordan with the clutch jump shot. This time he hit it, and he had not been going well during the course of the second half.
With the threat of the three-point shooters on the floor, you can't come and help quite as quickly on Michael. He gets Scott back into an area where he feels comfortable. After coming down, he almost seems once again to be bothered by the bad knees. The right side of the floor has been cleared out. He's got a full head of steam, and now it's just a matter of elevating before Divac can make the rotation over.
Prior to converting that field goal, Jordan 2 for 11 from the field in the second half. Overall, he is 9 for 25 under his usual standards. Jordan has 23 points. 3 4/10 seconds remaining in the fourth quarter. The Lakers and the Bulls tied at 92. Dramatics at both ends. First, Vlade Divac off the recovery, able to hit on the drive, drew the foul for the three-point play, and the Bulls come right back.
If you're looking at the two teams, the Bulls have more people with the ability to put the ball on the floor and create off the dribble. The Lakers more of a post-up, stagnant team, pounded in down low. With only 3.4 seconds remaining, you need a guy right now where when he catches it on the inbounds pass with 3.4, that's plenty of time. To give you an idea, you can dribble from baseline to baseline in 4 seconds. So 3.4 is a long time, providing you have someone that can create off the dribble and either pull a defender to pass for an open shot or perhaps take it and score or get fouled.
Let's go over to Steve Jones.
The Los Angeles Lakers spent that entire time out talking about getting the ball inside. They'll go either to Perkins or Worthy. Magic Johnson, inbound passer, most dangerous guy on a return pass.
All right, Steve, and Magic will throw in from center court. Both clubs are out of timeouts. Shuffling by the Bulls. Will Perdue has checked in, and he will guard Perkins. Joe Crawford with the whistle.
Delay game taken by Michael Jordan that time to expose the play that the Lakers were going to run. As soon as Joe Crawford handed the ball to Magic, Jordan got up too close. The delay game was called. The rest of the players hopefully got a look at the play.
Bulls with the delay of game to give. Divac. Jordan knocked it away. Scott got it off. And we go to overtime. The Los Angeles Lakers 3 up, 3 down in overtime games. The Chicago Bulls 0-2 in OT. The Lakers and Bulls tied at 92. Back with the overtime in a moment. Welcome back to the Forum in Inglewood. Marv Albert, Mike Fratello, Ahmad Rashad, and Steve Jones. Game 3 of the best of 7, and they're tied at 92. The Los Angeles Lakers able to take a A 2-point lead off this bucket by Divac, fouled in the act, went to the line, hit the free throw, and then with 3 4/10 seconds remaining in regulation, the Chicago Bulls using their possession wisely as Michael Jordan went behind the back against Byron Scott and was able to convert to tie the game.
Both players answering with the big baskets at crucial times for their teams. Bulls electing to go for the tie. Let's get it into overtime, and then we'll play from there. It's a new ball game.
The Chicago Bulls have come back from a 13-point deficit at one stretch during the third quarter. The Lakers were in the midst of an 18-2 run, but the Bulls closed the third quarter strong, and we are headed to OT. Let's go over to Ahmad.
All right, Marv, one thing that's going to bother the Bulls, just during that last play, Michael Jordan hurt the tip of his big toe. They've taken it up, taken a look at it, and it's going to be painful, but he'll try to go with it. Marv?
All right, Ahmad. The Lakers were involved with one overtime game in the playoffs. They defeated Golden State 124-119.
Keep an eye here on Jordan's foot. This is where the injury takes place as Divac tries to split him. Right there in that little scurry of players is where the injury took place.
Mike Dunleavy inserting the rookie Eldon Campbell, who has not played at all this evening for the opening tip. He's trying to preserve Divac, who has 5 fouls. Divac will come on shortly. Campbell winning the tip. Campbell up front with Perkins and Worthy. Johnson in the backcourt along with Scott. Campbell gets it right back out as we get underway in overtime. Campbell rejected.
The Lakers came right out and tried the back pick lob play again. This time for Campbell, wasn't quite there.
Livingston opens up front with Cartwright and Grant, Maxson and Jordan in the backcourt. Scottie Pippen fouling out at the end of regulation. Here's Jordan, lost control, and the Lakers on the run. Magic dumped it off. Worthy could not handle. Back come the Bulls. Magic Johnson slow to get up. Maxson throws it home. Magic was in a collision at the other end, shaken up, but looks to be all right.
Magic, after the dribble penetration, dropped it off to Worthy, thinking James was going to move to the basket. He hadn't made the move, the resulting turnover.
2-point lead for Chicago. Campbell getting inside.
And there's the ball reversal that we had talked about early in the game that the Lakers had to get to. They started it in on the right side, reversed it all the way around to the left side of the floor. Easy score for Campbell.
Eldon Campbell, a 6'11" rookie out of Clemson, #1 draft pick of the Los Angeles Lakers. Game tied at 94. Cartwright, hand check by Perkins. Shot clock down to 2. Paxson had to fling it. And at 40 gone by in the 5-minute overtime session. Lakers and Bulls at 94 apiece. Cartwright slapping it away. It will be Los Angeles ball with 6 on the shot clock. The hand for Eldon Campbell as Vlade Divac returns.
Do you think that Magic and Michael might get the day off from practice tomorrow?
I think there's a pretty good shot. A lot of minutes logged by both. Scott, he cannot buy one. 0 for 6, but Divac got it back out. Johnson for 3. Cartwright rebounds, knocked away by Scott. It will be Chicago ball. Lakers now 0 for 5 from three-point land. Just under 3 minutes remaining in overtime. The series tied at 1. This game 3 of the best of 7 NBA championship series. Here's Jordan. Yes! Michael Jordan hitting on the driving reverse to give his club a 96-94 lead.
Normally, the Lakers are excellent at walling off or sealing off the entry lane to the basket. That time, no one moved as Jordan found the seam.
Perkins stripped and a foul call. Holding foul on Jordan. That's 5.
Jordan makes the move. Divac never comes across. He lets Jordan come to him. Can't do that. It's going to be too late. He creates too many ways and invents new ones each time out to score.
Sam Perkins to the line off that foul on Jordan. Scottie Pippen is fouled out. Strong game for Pippen, 19 points, 14 rebounds. Perkins has hit 4 of 5 from the line. So Jordan and Divac playing with 5. For Perkins, and the game is tied at 96. 2:20 remaining in overtime. Maxson came off the screen, but Magic stayed right with him.
And they're making Magic work at the defensive end, that's for sure.
Good look by Jordan. Cartwright could not convert. And the official, Joe Crawford, saying, stay right here. It is a loose ball foul against the Lakers. It's on Scott, his third. We're down to 2 minutes left in overtime. The spin by Jordan, and hits on the reverse. Michael saving it for overtime. 2 key buckets. And the Bulls lead at 98-96. Good pressure by Chicago. Magic in trouble. And a timeout taken by the Lakers.
Jordan loves to use the rim to come up on the other side. He drives baseline, sees the rotation coming, has the great ability to hang and reverse it for the score. Jordan, who loves to drive baseline, uses the defense by bringing it up on one side and then hanging and reversing over to the other side. One of the reasons why we always wanted to force him to the middle of the floor. Jordan likes it. He says, we got him now, let's go.
And Michael and Magic have each logged 50 minutes of playing time in this overtime get-together. 27 points, 7 rebounds, 9 assists for Jordan. And Magic 22 points, 6 rebounds, and 10 assists. Michael Jordan has got it going here in OT at a poor shooting second half. Jordan overall is 11 for 27 from the field. Magic 7 for 13. The Bulls by 2, 98-96 with a minute and 44 left in overtime. Magic lost it and recaptured. Worthy got it back out. Shot clock down to 3. Perkins to the hook. And the rebound snatched by Jordan. Michael Jordan for a Horace Grant. And the Bulls lead 100-96.
Both of those sequences, the defensive end of the floor where they're so aggressive and tenacious, and the offensive end just showing the athleticism of the Bulls team. They're just always there bothering you.
Perkins, he forced it up. And a foul called on Divac. So he is fouled out. Lonnie Divac picks up number 6. An outstanding game for Divac. 24 points, 7 rebounds. He hit 11 of 15 from the field. Eldon Campbell, who played briefly at the start of this overtime, checks back in, replacing Divac. We're down to 107 remaining in overtime. Well, the Los Angeles Lakers broke through the home court advantage in Chicago in game 1, and the Bulls trying to do the same right here to take a 2-1 lead in the best of 7. Jordan posting, and Jordan fouled.
The inexperienced player, Eldon Campbell, the guy that's supposed to come and double team from the top, goes a little bit too late. You can't wait that long on Michael Jordan. He gets in the seam, uses the arm a little bit to hook Byron Scott, and that's what Byron Scott was hoping the call would be.
Michael Jordan is 4 for 4 from the foul line. A dramatic come-from-behind effort by the Bulls, who could have been run out of it in the third quarter. 18-2 spurt by the Lakers. They led by as many as 13. They were on fire at one point. The Bulls missed 9 consecutive shots. They were able to settle down. They closed strong in the third to get back into it, and they now lead 102-96 as the Lakers take a timeout. 53 and 5/10 seconds remaining in overtime, and this represents the Bulls' biggest lead of the night. The Chicago Bulls on top of the Los Angeles Lakers, 102-96 with 53 and 5/10 seconds remaining in overtime. The Bulls in excellent shape with the lead. 3 timeouts left. Lakers with only 1. The Bulls also have 1 foul to give. When we resume, it will be Laker ball. 6-point Chicago lead. Down to 45 seconds to go in overtime. Magic from downtown, and Jordan able to field it. That Laker sequence, not what Mike Dunleavy had in mind.
Now, they were trying to get the quick step back by the screener for the 3-point shot, who was Sam Perkins. Couldn't get it. Now Jordan's just going to run the clock till he gets a good shot for himself or for a teammate.
24-second clock is at 3. Grant launches and hits.
When it's going good, it's going good.
Horace Grant, who has come up big the last 2 games, makes it 9 of 11 from the field for 22 points. And time running out on the Lakers. Final seconds of the overtime. Drew. Chicago Bulls have returned the favor, beating the Lakers at the Forum, and they take a 2-1 lead in the best of 7. Michael Jordan finishes with 29, 9 assists, 8 rebounds. He had 6 of his 29 in overtime, and Chicago wins 104-96. The executive producer of NBC Sports is Terry O'Neill. The producer of the NBA on NBC, Tommy Roy. Today's telecast directed by Andy Rosenberg, and our statistician, Mr. Stats, Elliot Cow. High point man of the game, 29 for Jordan. Grant with 22. Pippen at 19. Pippen fouled out. Magic Johnson with 22 points, 10 assists. 24 for Vlade Divac, who also fouled out. 19 for Worthy. Perkins with 25. Well, for Mike Fratello, Ahmad Rashad, Steve Jones, I'm Marv Albert. This has been a presentation of the NBA on NBC.